Violence is a very big issue in our society, and it affects everyone around. It doesn't matter if you were at the event, if you're part of that community, or if you live thousands and thousands of miles away. And it can be caused by so many different circumstances. So why do we jump to conclusions? Stereotypes get us absolutely nowhere. Like in the case of Columbine, April 20th, 1999. There happened to be two shooters, Eric and Dylan. But it didn't always appear that way. You see, victims and witnesses of the massacre saw two boys come into their school wearing trench coats, shooting at them. And later, two boys without trench coats shooting at them. And because they were in so much shock, they didn't really put together that it could have been just two shooters. They also believed that since these boys were wearing trench coats, that they were part of this trench coat mafia. Now, this caused for a lot of confusion, and it also got the cops absolutely nowhere. People also believed that because the boys were wearing such dark clothing, that they were goths. Because, goths are dark, and so they must be, dark-minded, and that would lead them to do such a terrible thing. Now, this argument was totally irrelevant. They also jumped on board of the conclusion that this was all thanks to bullying. But the boys weren't bullied. In fact, they were quite popular, and they weren't outcasts. And one of the big stereotypes today is that those that get bullied will become bullies. Now, obviously, that's not always true. I personally was bullied, never became a bully. Just putting it out there. Now, you see, these are some of the causes that could have led to such an event. Now, this event can also have both positive and negative outcomes. Obviously, the negatives, everyone's grieving, and there's loss of such innocent people. But there are positives. It calls people to come to action and help out this community. And it also, well, at least in Columbine's case, calls for new safety precautions to be taken. Columbine, the actual shooting took place for about 20 minutes, but it took the cops and SWAT team 3.5 hours to get through the whole building because they didn't have an appropriate safety guideline to follow. So after this happened, they started actually putting them together for schools so that kids know how to evacuate now and won't be locked in the school for 3 hours or dying in a room for 3 hours while the ambulances tell you that they're going to come and they'll be there in 3 minutes, hundreds of times. Now, to prove that we've come so far, I actually participated in a mall shooting simulation with the Auburn Hills Police Department. It was an experience I was capable of participating in thanks to my theater company choosing me. And it was used as a drill for the police. We were supposed to act as if it were real, because it was to them. And really, it was to us too. You think you're running through just one hallway to get out of the exit, but with all those guns going off, you end up going through about 5 because of all your adrenaline. So we have come quite far in taking precautions as to if this type of event could ever happen again. And in the case that it does, if we have any hope of finding out the truth behind what happened, we as a society need to stop jumping to conclusions and stereotypes. Thank you for your time.